What is up, everyone? It's your boy Razorbacks World. Welcome back to another video. We are doing our next SEC preview, and it will be the Auburn Tigers. Auburn started off the season really good, 6-2. They defeated the Arkansas Razorbacks 38-23. But after the Arkansas game, things just went completely downhill for Auburn there. Lost 5 straight. They finished 6-7, including that bowl loss to, who was it? I think that was, I really don't know who they lost to. But anyway, but whatever. So anyway, next preview is going to be Auburn. Let's go over the schedule. Before we do that, let's talk about some key players they're losing. I only know that they're losing one key player, and that's their quarterback, Bo Nix. But they are losing Bo Nix to Oregon. That will be a really tough loss for the Auburn Tigers right there. And they are losing some players in the NFL to the NFL too. So those are the key players that they lost. Now, let's get on with the schedule. So in their first 4 games, it's easy. Their first 4 games are pretty much easy. They open up the season with Mercer, an FCS opponent. Obviously, I really don't see why. And then they get San Jose State next in week 2. Obviously, this is an easy start to the season. And then they get Penn State at home. Remember last season they lost to Penn State on the road 28-27, I think was the finals. 28-20. 28-20 they lost to Penn State on the road. This time it is at home, so yeah. And then they get Missouri. So their first 4 games are pretty much easy for them. Missouri is decent. You may never know what they're going to do, but their first 4 games are pretty much easy for them. But after those first 4 games, it gets tougher from there because they play LSU at home. Brian Kelly coming in to LSU as a new coach. And then they go on the road to face off Georgia and Ole Miss. So after their first 4 games, they get a tougher stretch. And then they get an off week before they have to face off Arkansas. The Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas will be reloaded next season, so this is going to be a tough matchup for Auburn. This could potentially be a slip-up for Auburn at home. Anyway, then they go on the road at Mississippi State. Mississippi State will be tough too. They're losing Will Rogers, but Mississippi State's going to be tough next year. Then they got Texas A&M at home, but after the first 4 games, this is going to be a brutal stretch for the Auburn Tigers. But then they get a much easier opponent with Western Kentucky before finishing things out on the road at Alabama. So yeah, after their first 4 games, they get LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. That's going to be a brutal stretch for them. It will be brutal for them. And then but luckily they get an easier opponent before they have to face off one of the best college football teams in the country, Alabama. So Auburn's going to have a pretty much tougher schedule next year. Will the Auburn Tigers be able to pull out? We'll find out. This year. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.